Hi, I'm Jill Clifton of Landscape of Mothers, and I wanted to start talking today about infancy, and that's this moment where we learn safety and security. And part of that, there's multiple pieces to safety and security as an infant, and one of the pieces is learning to co-regulate, right? So when we have an infant and we pick up that infant, it's crying, we pick it up and we put it close to us, so there's warmth and they can hear your heartbeat, and we maybe give them little pats on the back and we say, there, it's okay. And we have the soft voice. Those are all cues for inviting the baby's nervous system to regulate itself from distress into calming, right? And so in this co-regulation, then the baby is using the adult's nervous system and behaviors to find its way into calming. And so this is how we learn. This is how we learn how to regulate our own nervous system. It's how we learn to self-soothe, is that someone else does it for us in the beginning, right? We say, there, it's like this. The soft voice, the head on the shoulder, the pat on the back, the rubbing, the contact, the heartbeat, and that's what allows that baby to start learning how to regulate its own system, right? And it takes a lot of practice, which is why part of the reason babies can cry a lot, right? Is all they need is for something to start dysregulating them, getting them off of their regulation, and then they need help. They need help to get back, and so we scoop them up and we say, there, and we hold, and we rock, right? This is giving the baby the messages of we are together, we are okay, we are loved, we are, right? I am here for you. And that co-regulation is part of that sense of safety and security, right? Where the baby is trusting its parent to take care of it. It's trusting, it's learning to build a sense of trust that its needs can get met, right? And this very first need is around regulation, regulating its own internal experience. And we need others to do that with us. And, in no small part, fundamental part, it's the way that our nervous systems are built as social humans, is that we need this connection. We need others to teach us how to do this. And when this system is interrupted in some way, then it can be very difficult to have a sense of safety and security in the world, even as we grow up and we learn all kinds of new concepts, but our nervous systems may or may not have that sense of security and safety built in. And it comes from these caregivers, and so it doesn't always have to be mom. I want to make sure that it doesn't start to feel like that this is not solely mom's job. A lot of it starts to be with mom because that is the human that's most familiar to an infant at the beginning. They'll often recognize other people's voices who are close by, often dad or best friends or whatever. So they will recognize other humans, and they will give those people a chance to be good regulators and soothers and to give that message that we are. So that's the first thing I wanted to start with about just our regulation and co-regulation in child development, specifically at that infant stage. The other thing I just want to note is that when that infant stage when that safety and security part is disrupted in our infancy, there's often a long-standing difficulty with trust. There's a long-standing difficulty with allowing other people to help. And so if you recognize these things, you may have some of these security and safety wounds from infancy, and it may be that you don't remember those, you remember them later or whatever. But those are common things. And the thing is that when we're parenting an infant, the infant can kind of trigger some of those wounds for us. And we may not really understand where all of our own distress is coming from when our baby is crying a lot, or just all the neediness feels like a lot, because babies need a ton. of attention, energy, feedback, facial expression. They need to see themselves reflected also. And so if all that starts to feel like a lot, it may be that there's not only, this need to do this for this child, but there may also be wounds that you're experiencing in your nervous system around anything that would have interrupted that for you. So anything that your primary caregivers experienced during that time, if there was a lot of stress or strife or, losing a house or someone died or someone, whatever, there's so many things can happen that are not intentional for adults to break those cycles of reinforcing safety and security. It's not necessarily someone's fault, but if you know that something happened like that when you were an infant, you may want to look into this a little bit about what it is to feel safety and security in the world. In Landscape of Mothers, that's one of the foundations of Sun and Moon Mother, is restoring those rhythms of safety and security, and restoring some sense of trust in that safety and security in the world. So if you have any questions or thoughts, don't hesitate to post. And if you're looking for more information, the book is available through Amazon and other online book retailers, if that's preferential to you. And you can also look at landscapeofmothers.com or find me on Instagram at Jill Deneen.